So gather yourselves into a comfortable position. And it's a fast Friday, so let everything just come to a pause for a moment or two. You know, many of us come to the end of the week with a lot of the busyness of the week. So let's bring ourselves into a place where we can just give the whole being the opportunity to pause. And if you could turn off your cameras and allow the awareness and your attention to move inward. So bringing yourself from the outside world into your inside realm and thinking for a moment about mindfulness in general, and just allowing yourself to remember that the myth about mindfulness is I can't do mindfulness because my mind is just too busy. But the reality is that a busy mind is not a failure, and it's actually a starting point, if you will. And it also is the nature of the mind. So allow yourself to breathe in 4 or 5 good, full, rich breaths. Just taking that in for a moment, that the nature of the mind is to be busy. And what is it busy with as you're breathing? It's busy with calculating and analyzing all the external data. So the sensory body, all the 5 senses. It's also analyzing and calculating the thoughts that you're having right now, the emotions that you're having, and the feelings. So there's a lot going on in that busy mind. And so what is it that's observing the mind, the thoughts, and the feelings and sensations? That's where we want to bring ourselves toward, and ideally rest in as you observe all of the movement. Continuing to breathe as well as you can. Long exhales, relaxed inhales, and then coming to an unconscious breathing rhythm, still with your awareness, but you're not shaping your breath. Just notice what happens as you pause. Notice the busy. Notice your sensations. And notice all of the different emotions and feelings that go along with some of the above. And bringing your awareness to those allows you to differentiate, if you will, between all of that movement and a place of stillness that can observe that kind, loving attention, the nature of the mind, the nature of the sensory body, and even the nature of thoughts, emotions, and feelings. And in the scientific literature, what we're doing theoretically is we're bringing ourselves into that prefrontal brain, in that place that rests in compassion, empathy, stillness, and acute awareness, away from the busy neocortex. And it's that very mechanism of moving from the busy into the still, calm, peaceful awareness that in fact is your true nature. It's that very mechanism that you're building and training in mindfulness. The mechanism to identify and observe these things without necessarily identifying with them. And that is a beautiful place to develop, which we have to do. Continuing to observe, softening the flesh of the shoulders down the back, relaxing the back armpits down, and just broadening the front armpits into a smile. Softening the space on the outer corners of your eyes, and relaxing the mouth, the cheeks, into a gentle grin. Moving back into that state of calm, peaceful, loving attention. Each time the thoughts kind of pull you into their movement, just like a big wind that stirs things up. Some of those pathways can be like a trail that the deer or the wild animals or the people kind of tread into the earth. And those dendrites are just so, so familiar and comfortable that it's sometimes hard to pull yourself out of those thoughts and into that calm, resting state. And that's why we practice. We want to move off of that familiar kind of trodden path into this beautiful, pristine awareness. And then using one of the senses, in this case, auditory, to just focus in on for the last few moments, listening with your auditory sense to the sounds that you hear most immediate to you in the room you are in. And then stretching that aperture of awareness out to where your building is, outside of your building or apartment or dwelling. And then narrowing the aperture of awareness back in to your building. And then into your body, listening to your breath, softening the space around your eyes and the cheeks, relaxing any sort of facial countenance that you hold. Just relaxing your identity for a moment. Feeling just into your pure essence of awareness. Before bowing your head, and relaxing the back of the neck. Lifting your heart, connecting the heart and the brain before gathering yourself in and coming back into the room that we share together.